Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today, I got a clip coming from one of America's most notorious prisons in California, Pelican Bay. That's right, 23 and 1 shoot program. Can't help but to think of old Denzel every time I say that. Anyways, I'm not going to go into a whole history lesson. This clip is actually going to show something that I've heard of but never seen before. It also shows why some prison facilities have their correctional officers wear stab-proof vests when going around the cell block. So prepare yourself for traveling back to 1993, Pelican Bay, California. If you enjoyed this type of content, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today.
Pelican Bay State Prison is located in northwestern California at Crescent City. Opened in 1989, Pelican Bay has two separate facilities. One side is for inmates classified as maximum security, or level 4, but who can be housed in a general population setting.
This level 4 classification setting gives the inmates an opportunity to hit this prison yard, which happens to be where one of the biggest and bloodiest prison riots in American history took place. But the maximum side, they don't get this yard. They get a little cement box to walk around for an hour of their day, if they choose to. And I'm going to show you a clip of that here in a second as well.
The other half is a security housing unit, also known as SHU. Inmates are sent here because of their behavior once in prison. Most are here for assaulting or killing staff or other inmates. Some are here for prison gang activity.
This is crazy secure though. Look, you got a guard walking above the inmates through a see-through floor as another guard's walking the inmate to his cell. I mean, I don't know if they still use this kind of technique in Pelican Bay, but you ain't doing nothing with these guards watching you, man.
Most are here for assaulting or killing staff or other inmates. Some are here for prison gang activity. Because of their behavior in prison, these inmates are the most dangerous in the California Department of Corrections. They live in cells that are arranged 8 to a unit, or a pod. Inmate activity is monitored by a correctional officer who can open cell doors electronically.
8 to a unit, that ain't that many people. Look at this command center though. She has perfect view of every cell block. I'm sure it's been updated since the years past, but still, if I were to guess, the basic structure is the same. But you see how the windows are actually built at an angle where the COs can lean over and get better angles or views of other places in the cell block that they couldn't see if the window was straight up and down. I mean, this place probably comes second when it comes down to the security level in the prison system. Number 1 to me is, of course, in Colorado. ADX in Florence. Go check it out if you ain't never heard of it. But yeah, that I believe is the most secure prison in the country. But look right here, I didn't even recognize this. It's more angles for them to see the movements of inmates. I mean, it goes all the way around. They can get perfect view at any time.
All inmates are searched periodically for weapons. All clothing, bedding, and personal effects are x-rayed for weapons and other contraband. Cell construction also is designed to curb assaults. Instead of metal frames, bed supports are molded into the wall. Toilets have no removable parts. This eliminates material that could be used to make weapons. Cell doors limit assaultive behavior without limiting staff's ability to see into a cell or an inmate's ability to see out of his cell.
That's not a bad cell door if you were to ask me though. You know, you get a good little breeze through those mesh holes. I've been in a cell where you go in, first they close a gate, and then they close a metal door, and all they have is a little square, you know, the little chuck hole for the tray. You ain't seeing nothing but those 4 walls that you're in. But I would have loved to have this mesh window here. That would have been great. But in a prison like this, you would think that the doors would be a little bit more solid, because a lot of the inmates in this prison, they're pretty smart. They've been doing this stuff for a long time, so they can improvise. And this part right here shows you why these guards wear these vests.
Even so, some inmates find ways to hurt staff or each other. Here, an inmate shows how he constructed a sophisticated crossbow-type weapon from materials the state is required to give him. Elastic from underwear, a barrel and darts from writing paper rolled tightly, a plastic spoon sharpened as a lethal point. The weapon is engineered to fit through the door, making staff or other inmates a target.
No way. Imagine you getting hit in the face with that money. It's game over, man. And then if they had a little razor blade melted to the end of it, yeah, this is why they wear those vests, right? And those shields sometimes, especially in like places like Red Onion. And this clip says 1989. We jumped about 5 years. Whoever titled this video was wrong. But that thing stuck into a box with ease. It shot out pretty fast. Look, they even put a CO shirt and hat on it. It helped him to aim better.
Most inmates are brought to the security housing unit for a specified length of time. They are reviewed every 120 days, or more often if there are indications of any problem.
They said a specific amount of time, which, from what I've heard from many people, is false. Like if you're a shot caller, you know, someone that has a lot of say-so in the organization. I've heard stories of people sitting back there forever, you know, still possibly waiting to get the hell out.
The security housing unit has its own medical and dental facilities to treat inmates. In addition, inmates have access to a legal library and the ability to discuss issues with other inmates. Because of the high risk these inmates pose, they are escorted by staff wherever they go in the prison, except for showers and the exercise yard.
That dude looked like he came out of a damn 300 movie. Is that a rat tail or a tattoo? If it's a rat tail, he's a little more scarier to me. I probably shouldn't use the word rat tail, okay, in this prison. But look, that's just what they said back in the day, little rat tail. I used to want to have one, you know, but my mom wouldn't let me. She used to say all the bad kids got rat tails.
And the exercise yard. A control booth officer opens an inmate cell to allow him to go to the shower or to an adjacent exercise yard. The officer is able to monitor the inmates by closed-circuit television.
Now, like I said in the beginning, this is the little concrete room they get to have their hour out a day in. Imagine that. You leave one little tiny room of concrete into a bigger one.
Most of an inmate's time in the security housing unit will be spent in his cell. There are reading materials.
Now, from what I understand, for the most part, you can't stop an inmate from writing and receiving letters. But the letters coming into some inmates in Pelican Bay, if not all of them, are read in high depth and detail before they're even given to the inmate.
Many have fashioned games like chess that they can play with other inmates in the pod.
A lot of people might be wondering, how are they playing chess if they're on maximum security lockdown? Each piece has a number or a letter on it that helps the person scream to the other person in the cell where to move. So I mean, physically, you're playing the game by yourself.
There is also television.
Ooh,
6 channels are available, including one Spanish-language program channel. Inmates also eat in their cells in the security housing unit. Meal preparation is in the central kitchen on the general housing side of the prison. Today, it's pasta for 4,000 that's being prepared, several hundred pounds of meat, gallons of sauce, and miles of spaghetti. While the sauce and meat simmer, other cooks are working on hot dinner rolls, cookies and cakes and other pastries. Inmates are provided 3 well-balanced meals a day.
I don't know about y'all, but this is looking more like home cooking than prison cooking. That look like some Angus ground beef, 90% lean. Don't let me find out they use ragu. Noodles looking like Bortello. Really though, watching this is making me wonder how much of the food process they've switched up. Not so much about cooking it, but the quality.
For those in the security housing unit, individual meals are packed in thermal trays, loaded onto insulated carts, and delivered to their cells by correctional officers.
Those look like brand new thermal trays. The thermal trays I was used to getting had holes in them, right? So water would get trapped in between the plastic and the metal or whatever the hell's inside that tray. I don't know. And when you get the tray, man, sometimes you would pick it up and it'd be water and you see little bugs inside the water coming out the tray that you're going to have to eat off.
Since the unit opened in 1989,
man, that tray looks
CDC's
stacked.
most dangerous inmates here has stabilized the rest of the system. Prison gang activity has been reduced, including drug dealing and gang-related attacks, even contract killings in and out of prison.
So this must have been around the time that they really started pumping these shot callers into this prison. And yeah, it might work a little bit, slow things down and stuff like that, but this was made in 89, 93, whatever. But it's 2033 now. Did it ever stop? Nope. Ain't nothing gonna stop that prison money train, doesn't matter east, west, north, or south. In the pen or on the streets, contraband and drugs is always gonna be flowing. And there's always gonna be a leader out there, regardless of how many you lock up. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a closer look into Pelican Bay State Prison in California. I got some more footage of this place and I'll drop it later on down the road, but I really just wanted y'all to see the whole dart thing. I've heard of them, but I've never seen them in use. That thing has some serious power behind it, pretty good aim as well. It blows my mind all the MacGyver stuff I did in prison, not to mention all the stuff that others have done. That blows the stuff I did out the water. You ain't got nothing but time, man, and you're stuck in a cell with a bunch of worthless items for the most part, so you try to make some worth out of them. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed today's clip and my reaction to it. As always, stay tuned. I got plenty more content coming your way.